special assistant not only to President George W. Bush, he also worked many campaigns for Senator Mitch McConnell. Scott, always good to have you on.
Hey, Jim, good to be with you.
So I wonder if Trump and Graham have it backwards here. I mean, the GOP lost the White House and the Senate under Trump. I mean, can the GOP win not just in 2022, but a national election with Trump as the brand, in your view?
Well, I mean, we do have some empirical data to go off of here. Donald Trump lost the national popular vote twice. He got a smaller percentage of the vote in his two presidential elections than Mitt Romney did in 2012. So there's some evidence that we've reached the limits of Donald Trump's political influence, and that was before January the 6th. I think there's also some evidence he cost us the Senate by losing the races in Georgia. Now, I do think it's true. The Republican Party cannot be the party of subtraction. And I think one issue with the Trump people is they'd like to kick people out of the party they don't like or who Donald Trump personally has a problem with. And if you just look at the election results, you can see it's hard for Republicans to be successful if you go around lopping off, 20 or 30% of the party because you don't like them. So I think at the end of the day, what's probably best for the Republican Party is that it get united around opposing the Democrats with a responsible governing alternative. What's probably not best for the party is to say, you know what we need? We just need more Trump. And that didn't work in November or January, and I doubt it would work in the future.
Let me ask you, though, because the polls show the majority of Republican voters, or at least self-identifying Republican voters, large majorities remain with Trump. I mean, is there really a civil war within the party, or is it a fringe in the party, right, in terms of numbers that opposes Trump, whereas most is with it?
I think the term civil war is overblown. I think most Republicans across the spectrum have the same basic policy views. I think Senator Graham in that clip was correct. Everybody sort of, we're conservatives and they're not. I mean, that binds most Republicans together. I think where we get off the rails is when we start to talk about I don't like you because of this cultural issue, or I don't like you because you won't bend the knee to me whenever I demand it, or, these personal grievances, cultural grievances, personality conflicts, stylistic conflicts. This is where you start to see the split. On policy, the best place for the Republicans to be is to say, we're center-right, responsible, reasonable, governing people, and the Democrats are far-left radicals. I actually think that message would bind most people together, whether you consider yourself to be a McConnell Republican or a Trump Republican.
Okay, so the sense is that McConnell would like the party to move on from Trump. But he had a chance, right, to do that, not just in hope, but in action. I mean, he said on the Senate floor, Trump incited terrorism, his words. He said he did, and voted to acquit after he himself delayed the trial, which presented this constitutional issue that he's kind of hanging it all on. Did McConnell miss his chance to substantively change the direction of the party?
Well, I think the House also has something to do with delay. I mean, they took the weekend off, then they gave Mike Pence a day when it was clear he wouldn't invoke the 25th Amendment.
There was no reasonable way. He could have called the Senate back before January 20th, did not.
But there was no reasonable way. I mean, even the pretrial brief period, I mean, there was no reasonable way to have a trial before he left office. McConnell had a legitimate constitutional question. There are people that I respect greatly on both sides of that question. And he said that our system of government allows Donald Trump to continue to face consequences, which is true. But he made his speech, and he said what he thought was true, which a lot of people believe, 60% of the American people, that Trump is responsible. So, no, I don't think he missed his moment. I think what he's thinking about is the future. You have to remember, to understand McConnell, you don't have to understand that he wants to be liked or loved or adored by you or Donald Trump or anyone else. He just wants to have control so that Republicans can have policy influence. And that's the difference between McConnell and Trump today. McConnell has to get up and go to work every day. Donald Trump gets to get up and run his mouth. Yeah. And this is the difference in these two guys.
Mm-hmm. Well, Scott Jennings, I'm sure we'll be talking about this going forward, right? The battle still rages, but it's always good to have you on.
Thanks, Jim.
President Biden